you spend $1 million on a house in Ashburn and you expect it to feel like $1 million. It doesn't. And the gap between what you paid and what it feels like, that's where people quietly start losing their minds. I'm Atif Khan, and I've been selling homes here since 2017, and I've lived here since 2013. I've watched enough people write 7 figures check and then sit in their living room 3 months later wondering why it doesn't feel the way they thought it would. Here's what $1 million gets you right now in Ashburn. You're looking at a 4 to 5 bedroom single family, somewhere around 3,500 square feet to 4,500 square feet, depending on the neighborhood. Probably built it like in the last 10 to 15 years. Updated kitchen, finished basement, maybe a deck, maybe a bigger lot if you're in Broadlands or part of Brabelton. Sounds great. And it is great. That's not the problem. You pictured space from your neighbors, privacy, a yard where your kids could actually run in without waving at 3 different families. And then you move in. Your neighbor's leaf blower is going on at 8 a.m. on Saturday. And you're sharing a fence line with someone whose dog barks at everything. And then the street looks a lot like the street right behind you. You didn't buy wrong. You just expected different. If any of this is landing, my number's at the end. I'd rather talk to you through it now than after. I had a couple that came in last year. Budget was $1.1 million. They toured 4 homes. Every single one checked their boxes. And after the 4th one, the wife looked at me and said, "Is this it?" Not in a mean way, but in a confused way. She thought $1 million meant a different feeling. That's the part that gets people, and it's not the house. The house is fine. It's that number that created that expectation the market was never going to meet. And $1 million in Ashburn is strong, solid, well neighborhood. But it is not a compound. It's not an estate. It is not what $1 million buys you 45 minutes further out. And here's where sellers need to hear this. If you're listing at $1 million and your buyer already has a fantasy in their head, and if your house doesn't close that gap between that fantasy and their Tuesday at 6 p.m., the commute, the school, the drop-off, the Wegmans run, the 9 p.m. quiet, they walk. And not because your house is wrong, because their expectation was. So if you're shopping at this price point, stop thinking about what $1 million should buy. Start thinking about what your actual Wednesday looks like in that house. $1 million is real money, but in Ashburn, the life around the house matters more than the house. And nobody figures that out on showing. You figure it out at month 3 when the boxes are gone and you're just living there. That quiet part, that's the part that tells you the truth. And if you're looking at this price point and you want someone who will tell you the truth, what it actually what it feels like, not the listing version, then text or call me at 571-437-1880. I've walked a lot of people through this. The right house exists, but it starts with the right expectation. I'm Atif Khan with Deluxive Homes, and I keep it real in real estate. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.